We're in an attic today, and I'm here to do what's called an environmental inspection. So it's not a home inspection, big difference. And so one of the biggest problems people have in these homes is this is a third floor, okay? And so if you notice, we have a supply duct right there, heat duct. And the problem with just a supply duct in a third, it's a third floor, right? We know it's a third floor.
Yeah.
And the problem with a supply duct is that there's no return. So what happens is it blows up this room, and then where's the air go? It's got to go to the basement, and there's our door. Now, the problem is if you close this door, you create positive pressure up here. Now, when I did inspection on the outside of this home, I noticed that the gutters have been replaced. This is probably a 90-year-old home. The gutters have been replaced numerous times, and I saw heat melting cords. Well, this is pretty much the attic that we're worried about is back in here. This is a typical third floor people don't use, but there's an access right here. And look at that. That is not going to work at all. That's an opening, okay? And the problem with the opening, let me get my flashlight so you can see a better view, okay, is that hot air is going to travel from this attic. What you're doing here is you're heating the crawl space attic that has two roof vents. You're actually keeping the birds warm out on the roof in the winter. And you're melting the snow, plus this insulation is not installed properly. It's in the joist. We're not going to get into that right now. But we are going to get into that this does not have an access door. This access door needs to be installed. It needs to be sealed to minimize thermal bypass, okay? Thermal bypass is going to cause heat loss and ice dams. And what we also need to do is this access door to the third floor needs to be changed to a louver door left open or the bottom cut. Now there's a hole going through the wall. That's thermal bypass. But the thing with this particular room here is that it's a conditioned room. Okay, so this is the panel that covers it. You don't need to cover this. You want heat in here. You want to heat and cool and condition this entire third floor. So now we're doing environmental. So a couple more things. We talked about the building science. By the way, when you pressurize this room because of that supply duct and the hole to the attic, which melts the snow and causes ice dams, you're also causing, guess what? There's no such thing as disappearing air. Your basement goes negative. Now you're sucking sewer gas from your sewers, and this house apparently had some odors from sewers. You're sucking radon gas. You're sucking moisture and odors. You have an unbalanced heating system. See, you can hire a roofer to replace your roof because of the ice dams. You can hire an electrician to put up the heat duct, the heat cords to melt the snow. Okay? You can hire all these people, and guess what? You're still going to have a problem. You're still going to have odor. And if you're in a high radon area, hey, how's everybody doing? I see a bunch of people that are on. Thanks for coming on. Just so you know, I'm going to do this. I'm doing this house right now live. And I'm doing certain sections, okay? So if you hang on a few more minutes, we'll be going through the house and talk about other parts of the home. We're not doing a home inspection, okay? We're doing like an environmental section because the person is more worried about their heart and lung capacities. And so we're trying to figure out what causes that. So I will talk a little bit about that in the next video. And so actually, why don't we just keep going here? We'll talk about that. I'm going to try not to take a video of the person's home and things in the house. So why don't we just stop here and talk about the first floor, okay? I'm just going to sit my butt right here and talk about the second floor. I'm not going to go through the home. Now, what we got going on in the second floor is, we're talking about health. We're not going to get, we all know these houses have lead paint. We know there's asbestos. So you know what? This video is not going to be about that, okay? Now, what it is going to be about is dust. And the home used to have pets. So we know that we've got a lot of pet dander. And we have a lot of, probably hair and fur and things like that in the ductwork. And you need to clean the ductwork. Now, there's a lot of ways of cleaning the ductwork. You're going to have to do your research, but I recommend using a brush, kind of a moist method, to clean the ducts, and then also negative air and keep it contained, because a lot of duct cleaners they come in your house and they actually contaminate your house. So you want to be smart, do your homework, and do that. So the dusting of your home is a great idea. Now, if you happen to have a lot of storage in the home, you know what? They're dust collectors. Like people that they have tchotchkes and antiques and things like that. You know what? I don't know what to tell you, but I would say to be in a safe, clean home, if you're worried about your lung capacity, and here's another thing. You got to remember, a lot of our homes today have way more people living in them ever since that virus that hit America and the whole world. All our kids moved into our homes and our pets moved in. We have a lot more usage, a lot more heating, a lot more usage of our cooking. We're creating more carbon dioxide. We don't have many air exchanges. So all that is coupled with poor indoor air. Now, the indoor air we're talking about today, we're mostly worried about this individual is worried about the air they breathe, their lung capacities, and their issues with heart. So I'm not a doctor, okay, but I am going to try to get into that a little bit. Anyway, so carpets, if you notice these carpets here, I didn't say earlier to get rid of them, but you know what? If you can't, I would get rid of them. Carpets, basically, these are old carpets and they had pets in them. So, there's food in there. There's saliva. There's all kind of stuff that dust mites like. And if it gets humid and moist because you're not running a basement dehumidifier, then you're going to have amplification of fecal pellets. And every time you walk by the carpet, you're going to aerosolize them into the breathing zone, and that's going to kill you. So I would say no carpets. Okay. And then I know this is kind of looks with plastic on the windows, but you know what? I like that. The plastic will slow down the condensation, number one. It's going to help you save some energy. It's not going to help you with air exchanges, but there's nothing wrong with doing that. So I would say carpets. And another thing I noticed in the second floor, and I'm just going to point to the ceiling here, is let's go into here. Nobody ever takes care of fans, okay? Tops of fans, tops of doors, and then you definitely don't want to store any VOCs, okay? You don't want any VOCs. If they're closed, don't worry about it. But if you've got different types of chemicals and cleaning agents, you want to take those somewhere else or put them in containers, okay? And so we're going to end this video and start another video in the basement in a few minutes. So, hey, stay on. Thanks for coming on. Remember, like and subscribe. And also, hey, I got this great book on Amazon called Fix Your Toxic Home and Live Longer. Check it out. Okay, give me a few minutes. We'll start this part 2 of this.